Guys, this is the bravest you will ever see me
My God.
on this podcast. I am so strong. I just want to let every single one of you know that the Big Brother 27 finale is happening at this very moment. And I turned it off right before the final HOH competition with Morgan in her sleek black mini and Chelsea in her beautiful brown two-piece gown. And I hopped on to the live stream to record this podcast because I'm dedicated to the people, and I'm going to have to wait several hours until I watch the finale.
And he's taking it really well, as you can hear. He definitely is taking it in stride.
I'm not. We'll get into it more in the podcast, but I'm just letting all of you know that with every word I say, just know there is an undercurrent of pissed and anxious.
And that's already been coming across in our earlier conversations, and we don't need to dive too far deep into it while we get into the podcast, but I guess we will.
I guess we will, won't we?
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to 2K Matt's the podcast. It's Matt Palmer.
And it's Matt Steele.
And we are back again. Another week of recording the podcast live for you all. We are across the country. I in LA, Matt Steele in New York City. And I am coming to you live in a world in which Mariah Carey has released her 16th studio album, Here for It All. If you want to see our reaction to that, it's up on Patreon right now, patreon.com/2KMats. But I'm flying so high. So as much as Matt Steele is angry about not watching the Big Brother finale right now, I am floating in the ether. I have joy coming out of every pore because I have gotten 11 new tracks from Mariah Carey and an album that is so fucking good. And people act surprised, but like, this is a woman who's never made like an actively bad album. So of course she's going to keep the streak alive. Sweet 16. We love it.
Yeah. And I just want to say Matt Palmer also waited a little bit until he got to listen to the new Mariah Carey album, Here for It All, as well. He had to wait like a whole 20 minutes to reboot his computer or something like that. And so you were very much in my boat, in my shoes. This time on Thursday.
Yes, this time on Thursday, it's okay, so we're setting up these cameras. It's, we're across the country from each other, so it's not as easy as, Matt Steele comes over and we just listen to the album together. It's okay, no, we got to be on a Riverside, which is a more professional Zoom, and we got to do it all together. It's a whole thing. And my computer decided that the basically what I plug into the USB to connect my camera into the streaming that we do, the streaming controller, so Matt Steele can see me while we record these things. It took a piece of the USB from the computer. The actual plug did. And so whenever I unplugged that one thing, the computer would shut off immediately. And so this happens at 9 p.m. right as the album is coming out. I'm like, oh my God, are we not going to be able to do this today? What am I going to do? How am I going to fix this? I learned that if I plugged it back in, the camera wouldn't work, but the computer would turn on. So we did record our reaction to that album without Matt Steele being able to see me. I was only sending him a black square, but he could hear me. So it was kind of like a little radio play on his end, but I could see him. So that was nice.
It's okay. I was listening intently the entire time to both Mariah and listening for you having some. It was kind of like the first time when Mia and Mariah came out and you listened to it by yourself in your bedroom. And I had my ear to the door listening to you listen to it. And all I heard were just snaps and snaps and snaps and and you just screaming and screaming. And then that one fateful moment when there was just silence. And then I just heard Matt Palmer through the wall just go, that was weird. And I was like, I wonder which song he's referring to.
It was Meteorite, which I still find weird. I just think it is a sound that is early 90s, but not what Mariah was doing in the early 90s. And I'm like, what is, and we're in 2014. Why are we revisiting a Madonna Deeper and Deeper kind of sound? It's an odd song, but I like it. Q-Tip was, doing something special on the production there.
When we love special, we love experimentation here at 2K Mats. And so, it was kind of harkened back to those days when I couldn't see you. But yeah.
Absolutely, it did. So, Matt Steele, how was your week? Outside of, obviously, the Mariah release.
Well, it was wonderful because I was a working actor this week. And by working actor, I mean that I sat at a table and watched other people act.
That sounds like acting to me.
Hey, and I was just writing down everyone's blocking, and then it would change and I would erase it and write down new blocking. And I was just okay, if I were to say this line, how would I say it and everything? And occasionally me and the other understudy in Messy White Gaze, we go out into the hallway and we sort of run lines ourselves. And so the two of us, there's 5 roles in this show. and we're up to, the script is like 82 pages, and this week we focused on the first half. And so the two of us can recite the entire play, we can recite the entire first 41 pages of this play, literally all the characters.
Whoa.
Like zooming through, like going through rapid fire. And so that's a fun accomplishment. That's something and so we're going to see how next week goes with learning the second half of the show. And
right. And so, but when the time comes that you step into one of the roles, is it not going to be hard not to say someone else's line because now you know every line in the show, or do you know exactly?
Well, bitch, girl, I guess we'll see. I guess
we really
see,
will. We're
going to get to a point where I will be able to perform this show as a one-man show, and it would be iconic.
Hey, I'd go see that. I would absolutely be on a plane because then I would know you would be in it, and that would be wonderful.
Exactly. I have to be in it, or else there's no show that day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it was a lot of Mariah stuff. It was a lot of prep for that, us recording it, and then of course we're across the country together, so editing it together to put it up on Patreon was not easy. And then making a TikTok and making a little YouTube teaser, all of that. Because I feel like if anyone's a fan of the channel, they know that this is going to be a big moment for I think both of us at this point, but especially me. So I wanted to give the people everything they wanted, and it also was good practice before this upcoming week where the new Taylor Swift album, Life of a Showgirl, is coming out. We're going to have to do a very similar kind of thing. And man, guys, I don't know if you guys know, but Taylor Swift's a very big artist. And a lot of eyes come to the 2K Match, as well as many other people on the internet, when Taylor drops something. So the fact that we are going to be apart for the first time during a very major 2GM specific release is, daunting. But I feel like now that I've gotten a new motherboard and my streaming computer, I'm in good shape to make this work and make this something good. I just can't believe we're getting a new Taylor album so quickly after the new Mariah album. I'm still processing. It's 41 minutes long. It is going to be bops after bops. If we're to trust Taylor and Travis, which I've decided I do. It's just wild to think what are she and Max Martin? What have they cooked up this time? Because are we getting Reputation? Are we getting 1989? What's it going to be?
I think it's going to be a mix of 1989 and Lover. I think we're going back to the cooler sound of 1989. But Taylor, she can't help but put in something sweet there. She's in love right now. She's in love. She's fucking engaged. There are going to be some love, fun. Hey, I'm in love songs that which is something I very much loved about Lover. She was so happy on that record. And I feel like she's just in a good place right now. She just had the biggest tour of all time. She has so much fucking money. It's insane. So if she is anything but flying in the clouds right now with happiness, then I'm gonna be girl.
I honestly
why are we sad on this album?
I hope we're getting lyrics hey, I'm in love, and I've got so much fucking money.
I'm in love. I know, and I've got so much fun. That's going to be the undercurrent of this entire podcast is Matt Steele is pissed. The entire undercurrent of Life of a Showgirl is hey, I'm in love and I have so much money.
Hey, I would like to say that the theme of this podcast for me is over the moon, flying high, ethereal love, and everything is beautiful.
Yeah. It's so nice when everyone gets what they want right away, and those of us who have to be strong have to wait.
Well, because I believe in you.
I am not going to be able to watch this finale until 2:30 something in the morning because it has to air on the West Coast, and then I have to wait for Paramount Plus to put it on its platform, which they're not always on it super quickly. Well, it's fine. I'm good. Yeah. And then I have to listen to the recap podcast. I can't go to bed without listening to Rob has a podcast, The Recap.
Sweetie, you absolutely should go to bed before listening to that podcast part. That can be listened to on your way to and from rehearsal tomorrow. You told me the time you have to be there. It's not late in the day tomorrow, so I'd go to bed once you were done. I honestly would watch this tomorrow, but it seems like that's not an option for you.
Girl, are you fucking kidding me? I'm about to turn my damn computer off for you suggesting that. I can't go to bed not knowing who won this phenomenal season.
It's honest. Also, it's shocking that you're describing it as such a phenomenal season because I could have sworn when Rachel got kicked off the way she did, you were like, this season's a wreck. Wrap it up. I hate everyone. The end game's going to be terrible. And here we are.
No, this is the best end game in a decade, maybe. I truly the end game of this. Last night I was up until 4 a.m. glued to the feeds because they were a fucking soap opera. We'll get into it for 2 gay minutes, which will probably be about 5 gay minutes.
Jesus.
But I'm just saying I had a great time in the last week following the feeds.
I'm happy to hear that. Should we jump into the news for idiots?
Yes, let's go.
All right. Firstly, and I feel like this probably had happened by the time the podcast was out and reached your ears, but just an update since we talked about it so heavily last week. Jimmy Kimmel's back on the air. That suspension was lifted. So all those 250 people that were out of a job or, were concerned about their employment now are back at work doing great things. He came back and apparently his monologue was great. And it also got so many fucking hits on YouTube. So it's as much as the goal of this whole suspension was to be take down Jimmy Kimmel and his quote unquote awful ratings, according to Truth Social, you've made him bigger than ever. These are the biggest ratings he has gotten in I think this decade. So kudos to him. I actually haven't watched the monologue, but I've heard it's great.
No, it's very good. Yeah, and sorry guys, you made the guy a hero. You made the guy a hero for free speech and stuff like that. So I guess your mission was not accomplished by that short little ban. But no, I'm very happy he's back. I'm very happy that, free speech won here in this occasion and that these people have their jobs back. Cause I'm sure it was very scary and very daunting. Sure. This thing that he worked for God knows how long in his life, just suddenly gone because of an innocuous joke that was not offensive in the slightest.
Right.
So yeah, I'm very happy to hear about that. That was Monday, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that was
pretty
Monday.
Shortly, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was I think less than a full week that he was off the air. So I'm glad he's back, and I'm trying to look around and see are we good with Disney? Are we good with Hulu? Because I did cancel my Hulu, and I'm can I get it back again? Because I do want to see what's happening in Only Murders, and they have my Happy Endings reruns. Some people in the Discord have been just pirate these shows, and I'm pirating. I feel it's not even oh my god, no, pirating's wrong. It's more it's so much effort. I feel in an era of streaming. I cannot, it's when people are ooh, the XYZ album leaked. Do you want to send me a zip? I was what are we talking about? This is going to be on my Spotify in 10 minutes. I can wait. It's more laziness instead of oh, this is wrong.
And completely. And I truly have no idea how any of that shit works. I've been on the internet for decades of my life. And if you were to tell me to torrent something, I'd be I don't know how to do that. I'm still afraid to click links. I remember getting my brother, we would try to find little audio clips of back in the 90s in those internet days, trying to get little audio clips of Alice Ripley as Fantine in Les Miserables and everything, and trying to download these audio clips, and it would take forever, and then it would sound garbage. She would sound incredible, right. But it would sound low quality recording, the recording got messed up and stuff like that. And so I'm always afraid people who literally torrent movies from the internet, and it's not the same quality, or it's someone holding a camera to a movie
that's
screen.
Wild.
You are repulsive if you enjoy watching that. And I am not like Matt Palmer with I need everything high quality, but an entire movie you're gonna watch blurry and shaky and low quality.
I have to jump in.
Not.
You have seen I assume you've seen some Broadway videos that are pretty low quality of people with their video cameras. Yes, I feel you've seen some bootlegs in your day.
Well, because that's the only option for those things. That's literally, besides actually buying a ticket and everything.
Right.
But in terms of if you need to, in which, I don't endorse bootlegging.
Of course.
If there's a video on the internet that's free, I will check it out if I can, if I'm interested in seeing it. But then when it's taken down, I'm just I understand why this was taken down.
Sure.
I'm not entitled to this video. But anyway, that's another topic. But that's the only, when I, was a child, that was truly the only option that I had. I didn't have my own damn money.
There you go. And yes. So yes, I think it is different. I don't know if that's how things are ripped now. I feel things are so digitally available. I imagine people aren't still going into movie theaters and videoing with their iPhone, but I guess I'd be surprised. But again, I'm just too lazy. It's at some point in life, you just get to a point, it's I'll just wait for it to become available to me. So I'll let you know if I decide to get back on the Hulu bandwagon. But speaking of Selena Gomez, one of the stars of Only Murders in the Building, she's also a married lady.
Married lady.
Yes, she and Benny Blanco got married, I guess, yesterday, Saturday the 27th. She posted on her Instagram lots of pictures of, Polaroids of them together, very much in love. It's just incredible to see this year that so many of our pop girls that we've been following for a decade or so are really taking the plunge, jumping into adulthood. And it's wait, I remember when you were on the Disney Channel, young lady. How did this happen?
Yeah. And yet we are the same age. Isn't that weird?
It is. Hey, that's what good lighting will do for you. Mariah taught us that.
I know, and now I discovered that like if I have my camera a little higher up, it's a better angle for me in this setup that I have right now. I did forget to turn on the big center light that I have. So that's going to be for the second half of the podcast. But I think I still look pretty decent in this video.
I bet you
below
do.
If you don't think I do.
Again, all of us on the live stream are more looking up at you, so it's a different angle. So we'll judge
That's
this
a bad
later.
angle. If you're on the live stream now, you are looking up my damn nose.
Hey, he just thinks she's better than you. That's what he's trying to convey with this angle. So I would never do that. Better Matt
You
alert.
have an upward angle. You have an upward angle for your camera as well.
No,
so like, shouldn't I have one for mine?
You should, but I'm just saying for the live stream, I'm also looking up. I'm giving the people the respect. You're looking down at them. You're looking down your nose at them, and I couldn't do that. I guess we're just different in that way.
Well, it's because of them that I'm missing the Big Brother finale. So they can look at my nose for today. Okay.
Well, luckily, you'll never get over it. So in other happy pop girl life event news, Miss Rihanna has welcomed a daughter this time around, Miss Rocky Irish Mayers. I didn't realize A$AP Rocky's last name was Mayers, but apparently it is. And this young lady was, I guess, baby girl was born on September 13th, and they're keeping with the R theme. And I'm wondering, it's like, okay, they had many a child, obviously. I believe this is their first girl. Was the goal, oh, I really want to girl. If I'm Rihanna, like, let's keep trying. And now we're done and I can start my album. Or are we just like continually going to be, and again, whatever she wants to do, she has the money, she has the resources, and she's not, doing a lot as far as musical releases. She's not going on tours. If she wants to have more babies, that's great. But for us, the fans, maybe this means an album's in the offing. Something to think.
It doesn't, but that's okay. Rihanna, much like Taylor's.
Do you not believe she'll ever put out another album? You said this about Britney.
Getting to a point.
You said it about Britney, and then she didn't. And so I just feel like, are you cursing these girls? Like, are you putting a hex on them with your predictions that they'll never come out? But in fairness, you did try to say there was no Act 2, and then Act 2 absolutely existed. So
Listen, as I'm not trying to create the future, I'm not trying to cultivate the future with my words. I'm just simply saying what I feel like the future might hold. I didn't create the future. This is Rihanna's doing, okay? Because Rihanna, much like Taylor Swift and much like Selena Gomez, now that she's very happily married, all these girls are just like, hey, I'm so rich. So we can do whatever the fuck we want.
Right.
Taylor was like, I'm going to put out more music. Selena was like, I'm going to get married. Rihanna's like, I am going to have some children and put out another lip gloss line. And I think that's beautiful.
I think she's been speaking a little bit more about R9 previous. She put out that song for the Smurfs movie that, people heard. And that movie, the Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, she has some songs in. So she's been in and around a studio. I think there's got to be a way that we could cobble together something from the last decade in which she has not put out music and put something out for us. Please.
Well, Wakanda Forever was in 2022, which
oh, Jesus, was it really?
Yes, it was, babe.
Oh,
babe.
My. Well, the Smurfs are more recent. She very recently was Smurfette. Maybe that means new music's coming.
Yeah.
Let me dream.
Yeah. We dream big here at Two Gay Mats.
Hey, to quote a highlight of the Mariah album, nothing is impossible. So,
going back to our roots, inspirational 90s adult contemporary ballad.
Yes.
Mariah's going to start wearing shoulder pads next time we see her.
A new music box bonus track was released, and an excellent one. Okay, so we'll see about that. We're hopeful. We'll see. But in good news of something that's actually happening that's very much in both of our wheelhouses that we enjoy. Apparently, the Social Network sequel, The Social Reckoning, cast and release date has been announced. Jeremy Strong is going to be replacing Jesse Eisenberg as Mark Zuckerberg in the film. It is going to be called The Social Reckoning, and it's coming out October 6th, 2026, which honestly to me for like, oh, we're just releasing this cast now and we're, announcing the date. I feel like that's sooner than I would have expected. I don't know if they've shot this already, but the cast includes Mikey Madison, Jeremy Allen White of The Bear, and Bill Burr. Details of the film's plot it's set 2 decades after the events of the first film. It tells this true story of how Frances Haugen, a young Facebook engineer, enlists the help of Jeffrey Horowitz, a Wall Street Journal reporter, to go on a dangerous journey that ends up blowing the whistle on the social network's most guarded secrets. I also think it is going to be directed by Aaron Sorkin, who also produces alongside Todd Black, Peter Rice, and Stuart Besser. And production is expected to begin next month. Okay, that is soon. I loved The Social Network. I thought that movie was amazing.
I love The Social Network.
Brilliant film.
Phenomenal.
A little sad Jesse Eisenberg's not, doing his role again, but I understand. Like, I feel like he doesn't like being tied to Mark Zuckerberg and has made that pretty clear. I think on the press tour of his last film, he was like, I see this person who's done such harm to the world, and I don't love being associated with him. So I could see why he turned this down. But I'm still very excited to see what it comes up with, because the movie initially was so incredible, and not every sequel is as good as its original. But I'm hopeful. It seems like a lot of the team that put the first film together is coming back on board for this one, so I'm hopeful that this film is good, and I guess we'll see this time next year.
I love that, because Jeremy Strong was just like, I'll do it. I'll do it. He played Donald Trump. He played Roy Cohn last year in the Donald Trump movie, The Apprentice. And so Jeremy Strong's just like, yeah, I'll play this fucking asshole who's ruining the world. Let's go.
If anyone's cool with playing a fucking monster, it is Jeremy Strong. So, I mean, he's made quite the career of it. And I'm sure Janie, who's like our number one Jeremy Strong stan in the Two Gay Mats universe, is over the moon about this. So I'm excited to see it, and I'm sure he'll knock it out of the park.
I know, and I mean, like David Fincher, like at the helm, and collaborating again with
Aaron
Sorkin. Like it's gonna be great. Like, it's gonna be great.
Yes, and speaking of things that are going to be reunited from long ago, Roku has coordinated a 20-year reunion special for Laguna Beach, the real Orange County. 2026 marks 20 years since the show ended, because no one's counting season 3, and Roku is getting the full cast back together for a 2-hour special. Lauren Conrack, Stephen Coletti, and Kristen Cavallari will be executive producers. Oh, I just am reading this alongside show creator Liz Gately. I'm a person, as you know, that I didn't cry at my own graduation, but cried at theirs. So I'm excited to watch this. We have a Roku TV in the bedroom, and I'm always wanting to watch it because apparently there is an American baking show that Casey Wilson of Bitch Sesh hosts, who's like a fave of mine from Happy Endings. And I've yet to watch it, but I need to watch that and watch this when it happens, when it airs. I guess it's going to happen in 2026. It does seem like, I'm pretty sure Kristen and Steven had a rewatch podcast about Laguna Beach, and Lauren was on as a guest. And it's like, it feels like we've been reuniting this cast for a minute now, but if it's going to be in a more official capacity and it'll be like all the players on stage, that's exciting. I just, I love that slick little reality show. It was not terribly long, those 2 seasons, but man, I was invested. This was my, teen drama that, was the cheaper version of the OC, because you didn't have to pay these kids much, and it really looked just as primetime soap ready.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. As you said, you called it like the slick little reality show. I want to say, is it the first of its aesthetic? Like, did it come? Because when I think of like reality TV, like the beginning of it, like for the first, like 2000 to 2000, before like Laguna Beach came out in what, 2006, 2005?
Yeah, or 2004 maybe.
2004. Okay, like because the beginning of reality TV, it was a little messy. It was a little like visually, it's like, oh yeah, we got cameras and we're moving and we're shaking and everything. And I feel like Laguna Beach is the first reality show that had that sort of like sleek sheen, where it's like you can tell meetings with people were set up and like lit beforehand, and like, okay, now you're gonna have lunch with this person. Like, I feel like that's sort of a thing that the Kardashians really grabbed a hold of, and because the Kardashians came out after Laguna Beach, and then the Housewives and everything sort of like had that aesthetic as well. And I want to say, is Laguna Beach the first one that, and I mean, I really hated that aesthetic. Like, I still kind of don't love it to this day. But like at the time when Laguna Beach came out, I remember watching the first episode as a teenager and being like, oh my God, the acting in this TV show is so bad, because it was so produced that I thought it was a scripted show. And I was like, but God, the acting is so garbage, and like these characters are so boring, and like there's nothing to them, and they're talking with no enthusiasm. They just like are well lit, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, no one's gonna like this. And then like people loved it. Loving it.
I loved it. Yes,
Yeah,
I do.
and
I do kind of think of it as the first of its kind. Like that definitely.
Yeah.
And they had the same executive producer on like the first few seasons of Vanderpump Rules that is very in keeping with that, where it's like, okay, these are young people trying to make it, and wherever they are, and we're gonna light them. They're going to be call sheets. You will be sitting here. You will be sitting here, and we're gonna get going. So it is. It's not an aesthetic for everyone, I guess, but it's one that really resonates with me. I was so plugged in to that love triangle between Lauren, Kristen, and Steven, and that neither of them ended up with Steven at the end, as far as like who got married. So it's okay. It's like, who doesn't want to see a high school drama? This is my Degrassi. This is what I cared about.
Exactly. Except mine was like thought out and lasted several generations. Whereas
and
Laguna Beach, just two.
Hey, because we tried to follow a new group and the new group did not have it. They really did not. That season 3 was tough. And but I do feel like that's another thing in common with Degrassi is like a third of the seasons are probably garbage. So very similar. Should we?
Depends. I will say that the switch from season 1 to season 2 following like the antagonist of the show into season 2 was a brilliant. I mean, I'm the person who wrote Devo's available now.
Yes.
So like I love a full switch up and everything like that. So I will say kudos to MTV for that idea. That was
there you go. Look at you giving the flowers to Laguna Beach. It happened. And speaking of MTV reality shows, MTV has canceled Catfish after 9 seasons. I had no idea that show was still on. But apparently it was, but it no longer is. I've seen Neve on TikTok. I guess he has a different like office job now that he's going to be, showing us around on TikTok. So that's exciting. Did you see the One Battle After Another film this weekend or not yet?
I did not. I have not because one of my best friends, Lauren, she and I, when we moved to LA together, we started a tradition randomly that we see all Paul Thomas Anderson movies together. Oh. And so like we saw The Master together in 2012 and then onward we just always saw it together and we're like, we're going to make this our thing. And so I told her, I was like, hey, it's sad that we're not in the same location for this movie because like this is the movie that's probably going to win him his Oscar, his first Oscar. It's probably going to win. I can't imagine it not winning Best Picture. Like I could see like people wanting to be like, okay, it's Paul Thomas Anderson's time and everything. And it's getting amazing reviews. So we're not together. So we're planning on seeing it the same day and FaceTime each other after we're both out of it.
Why does this sound like a 2-game mat setup? This is literally how we're going to have to do Wicked for good. It's just like us doing that and getting back on this riverside to talk about it. But I love that. I think that's very sweet.
Yeah, but what were you going to say about it, Matt Palmer?
Sorry. I believe it is number 1 at the box office over this weekend. It made $22.4 million domestic and $26.1 million internationally, bringing its opening weekend total to 48.5. It's a record for a film directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, but falls short for what Warner Brothers would need to break even on the $130 million action drama comedy. $130 million? Jesus, I don't know what happens in this movie. But I feel like since the reviews have been so excellent, I imagine much like a Sinners, it's like give it a few weeks, it's going to make its money back. It, like you said, it's going to be in the awards conversation. I don't know that I've ever seen a Paul Thomas Anderson movie, but I will say since this cast actually has some black people in it, I'm interested.
Okay, there's black people in Boogie Nights. There's Don Cheadle.
Great.
There is
You see what I'm saying?
There's
and it's Regina Hall, right? Okay. I mean, if it took this long, it's you understand what I'm saying.
Her part, I don't think is as big as
Tiana Taylor.
Tiana Taylor's part.
Yeah.
The Master, not too many black people. Licorice Pizza, not too many.
I mean, There
Will Be Blood. Nah.
This is what I'm saying. So I am interested.
Phantom Thread, which is my favorite Paul Thomas Anderson movie, is quite white. But I'm thrilled that it's getting great reviews.
Totally.
And that he's still making great movies to this day.
Yes, and I'm excited to watch it. And I also will say that I often mix up Paul Thomas Anderson and Wes Anderson. So I'll be going in being like, oh, it's going to be so even, all the shots. And it's like, oh, it won't be. Different guy.
No. Very different guy. One is Paul Thomas Anderson's married to Maya Rudolph.
Yes.
Wes Anderson, I don't even know if Wes Anderson is married, but
I don't know. And wait, who did Licorice Pizza? That was Paul Thomas Anderson?
That was Paul Thomas Anderson.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm not going to know this. Okay, did we, I will say, did you see that Lola Young collapsed mid-performance at a New York City music festival over the weekend? I guess it was at All Things Go. Very scary. She was in the middle of singing her song Conceded when she stopped, started gesturing to someone backstage and pointing to her head, and then collapsed and fell backwards on stage mid-performance. She, I think, has taken to her Instagram and said, you know, I'm going to be canceling some future performances. I wouldn't do this if it wasn't serious. If you are sending me love, thank you so much. And if you're a hater, could you just take a day off? Like, let's all hope good things. This is a very young artist who had a big breakthrough moment with Messi last year, and I believe there was an article about how I believe she's managed by the same person who used to manage Amy Winehouse, and this is the first act that they've worked with since then. And I believe Lola has been public with her, you know, substance abuse struggles. So again, guys, this is someone going through something as far as like this blowing up overnight feeling, and also someone with addiction issues. So I'm sending nothing but love her way. She's so talented. We reacted to one of her music videos on the channel, and it was very cool. Post Messi single, and yeah, no, I just am wanting to send love her way and wishing her and her family only good things.
Yeah, take a break, girl. Take all the vacation you need. Get all the help you need. Because I really like her. I think she's like very fun and unique. And every song I've heard of hers, I don't know her whole discography, but every song I've heard of hers, I'm just like, yeah.
I agree. I'm into her and only wanting good things for her. I think that's all the news for idiots I have this week. Is there any other news for idiots you'd like to share with the people?
No, because I don't know who won that final HOH.
Okay, well, I'm glad you've thought about anything else since we started recording the podcast.
I haven't.
I know.
Am I in a show? I don't even know.
Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break while Matt Steele remembers who he is, and be back in a second with more 2 Gay Mats, the podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back on 2 Gay Mats. It is 10:30 p.m. on the East Coast, and a Big Brother winner has been crowned. Do I know who it is? Nope. And this is also the time of the podcast where I get a little quieter because I'm scared of disrupting the neighbors. Yes. But my energy will still be up because what am I? Still pissed. But Matt Palmer, you tell the people what they need to do right now.
Guys, thank you so much for listening and or watching the podcast. If you enjoy us, please go to your Apple Podcast and your Spotify and leave us a 5-star rating and or review. It would really help us. We want to make sure this podcast reaches as many ears as possible. And if you really enjoy us, go to patreon.com/2gaymats where you can get extra bonus content from us very regularly. Our live reaction to Mariah Carey's new album, Here for It All in Full, is up there now. But you can also join the Discord, make friends with people you haven't met yet. And also go to 2gaymatslive.com and you'll find a podcast listener survey. We would love if you would just walk through that survey, let the sponsors, the potential sponsors of this podcast, know what you care about, what you want to hear from us. And, you know, maybe we'll actually be able to read an ad in one of these podcasts. We'd love that. So do all of those things and it'll make us really happy. What part of the podcast are we on?
We are on Email My Heart. This is the section of the podcast where we answer any questions that you guys might have. You can be a part of Email My Heart if you email us at 2gaymats@gmail.com. 2 is spelled TWO. And we have a wonderful email. And it's from Bhavana. Beautiful
name.
Yeah, Bhavana or Bhavana.
Okay.
Maybe Bhavana. Because in the email it says... It says, it says, "Hi, Mats. I'm Bhavana. Interested to see how you pronounce it." Writing to you from India. I'm going to say Bhavana.
I think that's good.
Beautiful name. I randomly came across your channel through your reaction to Adele's Hello, and I've been hooked ever since and have been a silent Kathy for years. I turned 21 this week. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And I thought I could take this time to express my gratitude for your work. Your content has provided me with joy, and even though you don't know me, you've helped me so much throughout my queer journey. I love you guys and hope you keep spreading the love into the world. We love you, Bhavana. That was beautiful. Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Is there a question or was that the full email?
There is.
Oh, okay. I was going to say that was just you being super nice. But yes, no, I love you too. That is truly the sweetest thing. We talk a lot into a camera and don't realize that people are really listening. So the fact that we get shit like this, we really appreciate you. Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, very much so. And so for the question, if you were a character in a TV show, not reality, and playing as yourself, which would it be? What would your plot line be? So like, is it like what TV show we would want to be on?
What?
You have talked about how you would enjoy the idea of like being in a severance situation. Which I think is psychotic. And
look, I felt that way before you watch Severance. Then you realize why it's a bad idea. But like the idea high level wise of like, okay, this body, all of my memories are just going to be about like my non-working hours in which I'm just doing day job stuff that like, you know, needs to get done, but maybe isn't like the most creatively fulfilling. I get the advice. I get why that would be appealing for some people, but you watch the show and you're like, okay, no, this is a bad idea. I'm trying to think of a show that I would want to be on. I mean, being a guest star on Abbott Elementary would be very cool because again, it's just a great show. I love Quinta Brunson so much. But I think it's honestly better for you. Like you clearly should be Jacob's brother and you both should be gay because you look just like him essentially. You definitely look like you could be related. But if you don't want to do that, I'll be on that show. I'll be, you know, a possible love interest for him, but then we'll just turn out being friends. And then, you know, maybe I'll be the music teacher at Abbott Elementary. I think that'd be very fun. It's just a great cast of great people and everyone's so funny. And it's just like a lighthearted, low stakes kind of show. I wouldn't want to be on anything that was too like dramatic and, you know, scary. You know, I don't want that.
See, I interpreted the question like a little differently. I interpreted it as like if you had to live in a TV show. But
she said storyline.
Yeah, she has storyline. Well, if I had to live in a TV show, I'm going to answer my version of the question first. And storyline, if I had to if I had to live in a TV show, it would be High School Musical, the series, because doing the High School Musical was the happiest time of my life. And if I could just like live in an endless loop of we're doing High School Musicals, I would just be having so much fun and all the sort of like low stakes drama that would entail.
I also love that you're picking a show that you've never seen.
I did not see it. I did watch the pilot.
Oh, is it good?
I did watch the pilot. No, it's great. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I watched the pilot with a guy I was dating at the time who was not into musicals at all, and it was very fun. And Nicole Sullivan was in it, and I was
yes,
she played my mom. I know.
That's
so cool. So yeah, no, it was a really fun pilot, and like I really should take the time to actually like watch the entire thing because I heard it was great.
And you're now Olivia Rodrigo's biggest fan, so it seems like you'd want to see all of her work.
Exactly, I know. And so, but if I had to be on a TV show, like as an actor, literally fucking anything. Literally fucking, like, babe,
okay.
Literally fucking anything.
All right. I mean, obviously you're currently working as a working actor now. So let's not, we have to make sure to give Matt Steele his flowers. Like, this is not one of those times where like, oh, I'm really scrounging for work. You're a off-Broadway superstar at the moment. So let's, round of applause.
Exactly. I mean, I do theater now. I don't do television. But no, I'm going to create, I would love to like be on sort of like a slightly more comedic looking ish series. A comedy that still has a little bit of drama to it where I can be a little gay and, I don't know what I would want my plot line to be. Anything that would maybe like win me an Emmy. Like literally anything that makes people laugh and cry all in the same episode.
Right.
Maybe if there is like a big like dramatic scene where I think someone dies. And so I have a big dramatic scene to open it with, but then I realize like, oh my God, no, it was just a misunderstanding. And it was actually all funny. And I have like some jokes to throw in there. So like it can give a nice, well-rounded character that does both comedy and drama. And that's what I want.
I think every show that's ever existed is funnier than Looking, so I think we can find something for you.
That's why I said a slightly funnier version of
I know, that's why I'm saying.
Okay?
I'm just, we love everybody, and we love gay media and, gay stuff. We're two gay mats. But we could call it spade a spade. That was a slower show.
Well, here's the thing. Like, Looking, I really feel like I need to start because I never saw Looking, so I'm like, I was just like, oh, it's fine, it passed me by. And everyone was just like, oh, it's kind of slow. But it was directed by Andrew High, who every Andrew High movie I've seen, I've fucking loved. So I'm kind of just like, maybe I need to give Looking a shot.
Okay.
Because if I really loved his movies, like 45 Years, All of Us Strangers, like really into his movies. So I'm kind of like, maybe I could enjoy Looking.
I do. I have to jump in and tell you did watch an episode, at least the beginning of an episode, after we watched maybe some award show, and we both were looking at it like, girl, what's happening here?
It was like the first episode of like season 2 or something, and it was after the Golden Globes, and I remember I wasn't really paying much attention, but I remember being like, that didn't really feel like a season premiere.
It was a lot of it was a lot of looking. It was like a lot of longing looks.
A lot of looking.
And misty San Francisco skies. I don't know. Maybe it's better than I know it to be, and maybe I should give it a try too. Once I'm done with my Sex and the City rewatch, which not a rewatch, watch for the first time, which it's been a bit on pause, but I'll be back because I'm really getting into
I could do that.
Good era there. You could be
I can look.
Yes, you can look.
I can act with my eyes.
Maybe you're
I've often been told that my eyes are too expressive. And so if I'm only acting with my eyes, then there's the Emmy, baby.
Maybe the looking reboot, which I'm sure is in the works. You could be the guy.
The guy.
I
don't know. No. If any show, like, I am not the guy, I am the guy's friend.
Great.
I am the guy's friend. That is
Right.
the nice part that I slip into. If I were to win an Emmy for this, it would be for supporting actor in a dramedy.
Sure. I love that. Do we have another email to go over today?
Well, the thing is, I wanted to go over, like, our friend Brian sent us an email giving us like a list of singers to be on Act 3 of Beyonce's Beyonce's Act 3, like potential singers. But he also sent a link of stuff that we should watch. So I have to say, I did not do my homework in looking at this email.
Okay, so do you want to hold off? Okay. By the way, I won't be looking at those links, but I can't wait to see what Matt Steele says. I just want us all to know.
I will have opinions. Okay.
Totally.
All right, so are we on to 2 gay minutes or Travis tracks?
Let's do 2 gay minutes. We'll get it out of the way. I will start a timer, and this is where one of the Matts goes on for 2 minutes about something the other Matt does not care about, and it's definitely going to be Matt Steele talking about Big Brother. And so are you ready for that, Matt Steele?
Baby, you can throw that timer out.
Look, it's called 2 gay minutes for a reason. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Guys, after Keanu's eviction, which was, I miss him. He was wonderful, but it was needed. And then Ava was finally evicted off the final 3, which is always like the most boring part of any season of Big Brother. The final 3, Ashley, Vince, Morgan. As you all know, Vince and Morgan. Vince has a girlfriend of several years, but him and Morgan love to canoodle, and they have a deep, deep, deep emotional relationship with each other. They are the final 3, and this end game of this season of Big Brother is maybe like one of the most entertaining, unpredictable end games that the show might have ever. Like, it's absolutely like in the tops for end games in terms of unpredictability, because, spoiler alert, I guess, Morgan won the first part of the HOH, and so then they were going into the second part of the final HOH, which was Vince versus Ashley, and so Ashley won because Vince completely misunderstood one of the instructions, which is something I watched on the finale.
1 minute.
And Vince had a complete meltdown, was devastated and everything because he misunderstood the instructions. So it's Ashley versus Morgan for the final HOH. And guys, this week I have become so fucking Ashley pilled. It's not even funny. The way she has slowly convinced Morgan that she should not take Vince, her quote unquote showmans, but not really showmans, of the season, because she convinced Morgan that it would be 50-50 if Morgan was sitting next to Vince in the final 2. And Ashley is just going through her like final speech if she becomes the final head of household, and because she plans on evicting Morgan and taking Vince because she feels like the jury was bitter against Vince. And so Ashley's speech that she has come up with, not only is it pointing out every single one of her like social, girl, I don't give a fuck. Not
Jesus
only has she like started pointing out all of the amazing like social things that she has done in this game to keep herself insulated and straight and safe, that's like creating the judges and making her once enemies into her allies. She is also planning on like dragging whoever is next to her, dragging their game. I don't know if this is what happened in the finale because I'm not watching it, but like dragging their game, like not just saying like this is what I did, but she's also saying like this is why I am better than this person next to me. And just watching her practice that speech is just so good. Each of them would be a deserving winner in their own way. And it's so exciting to watch. And last night, just watching Morgan slowly reveal to Vince, I don't think I can take you if I win the final HOH because I'm worried that I can't beat you. And watching Vince just be so devastated by that. It was like a giant soap opera. The cinematic quality of these hours-long conversations. Like, I was riveted the entire time. I told you I was up till like 4 a.m. watching it. It was so, so exciting. I'm riveted, and I cannot wait to finally watch the rest of this finale in a few hours at probably about 4 a.m. again. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
That was a minute and 5 seconds over, so you've lost that. But I'm glad you're excited. I'm glad the end of the show is more exciting than it is usually. I'm glad it was better than you thought it would be without Rachel Riley. I hope Vince and Morgan and Morgan's girlfriend, live happily ever after all together.
Vince's girlfriend?
Whatever. Truly, whatever. Like, I could not care less about this, but I'm happy for all involved.
Oh, it's so good and so juicy. I love them all. I love them all like they're my children. They're all great.
Did Travis listen to some music this week?
He did. And I have to say, like, even though we're in a really good era of music, this is Travis Tracks, by the way. This is the section of the podcast where, I go through the play. What?
Sorry, I just forgot to say Bad Bunny is headlining the Super Bowl halftime show in 2026. That what came up during our break, and I just wanted to make sure that people knew. The news broke while we were on air, guys. So this is like live news updates. But everyone who was wondering, is it going to be Taylor? Is it going to be Adele? No, it's going to be Bad Bunny. So we don't have to worry about it.
Thinking it was going to be Taylor, especially because she's putting out an album, and especially because she's dating or engaged to a football player.
Yeah, and she owns all her old catalog now, so it would make sense. The rumor is that there were talks, but they fell through because Taylor wanted to own the rights to whatever performance she does, and they were like, no, we're the NFL. So whatever, it's Bad Bunny.
We're the NFL. Whatever, it's Bad Bunny. Well, break a leg to him. I'm sure he'll put on a very good show. But yeah. So this is Travis Tracks. This is where I go through the playlist that I made for my roommate Travis because he knows nothing about pop music, and and we're going song by song, 365 songs, and we are in a great era of time. We are in 2012 to 2013, and so it's kind of like Travis doesn't really have much interesting to say about these songs specifically. A, because he's already heard all of them, except for one song that's in here as a treat. And they're all great. So he's just like, yeah, this is fucking great.
Good.
But anyway, so we are still in 2012. We get to We Are Young by the late group Fun, period.
Yes.
A group that I thought would have at least another album in them, but I guess they didn't because they decided to do their own thing. But We Are Young, Travis says, it's the anthem for millennials. This was a cultural moment. And then he proceeds to say, totally fine and enjoyable.
Oh, not totally fine after Anthem for Millennials.
Are you a bigger fan of We Are Young or Some Nights?
We Are Young.
We Are Young? Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm kind of equal on both.
Okay.
But I'm pretty equal on both, but I just kind of put We Are Young in there instead of Some Nights because it's a bigger hit.
Yeah. That one's bigger for sure.
Yeah. Next song is a song that truly did not need to be on the playlist because everyone heard this song, and it is a song called "Call Me Maybe."
Heard
Carly
of
Rae
it?
Jepsen. Remember, this was a moment in time.
Absolutely.
And he says another very important song for millennials, and then he says also cute and catchy.
All right, yeah. I would describe Call Me Maybe as cute and catchy, absolutely. Travis is a millennial too, right? Just so I'm clear on everybody's age.
Yes,
Great.
Travis is 1991.
Great.
He was born.
All right, he's one of us.
It's just so funny because he is like a lot of people, and he hears Call Me Maybe, and he's cute and catchy. Whereas I could write an entire 12-page paper on Call Me Maybe.
I mean, it's an important moment. It's an important song.
It really was. So next, another important song that was a massive hit. Somebody that I used to know. And Travis is like, wow, you're giving me a lot of songs that were really big deals when they came out. I remember the music video. I like it even though it's angsty.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, Travis is not an angsty person.
No.
And now a song that was not a hit in the grand scheme of things, but it was a hit in the Matt Steele, Matt Palmer universe. And that is a phenomenal dance track called I'm Not Madonna by the group High Fashion.
Oh my, I forgot about this song.
It holds up, motherfucker. If y'all don't know this song, please go to your Spotify or Apple Music, whatever, and listen to it immediately. It's so much fun. And he says, honestly, I have not heard this. It is so fucking funny, and it feels like it was written for gay men, which makes sense for the time because the gays were really everywhere in this period in history.
Is that to say we're not everywhere now? Are we flopping these days? What does that mean?
I feel like we're less of a novelty now. It's less of like we need to it's exciting listening to this fun gay thing now.
We used to be more exciting.
Like, I know. It was like, we're going to have a TV show called The New Normal. We're going to put a guy in a bow tie and have him on TV.
And Nene Leakes.
And Nene Leakes, yes. So next is a song, just a great song. Speaking of fun, Just Give Me a Reason by Pink and Nate, what's his last name?
Ruess? I don't know how to say it. Russ?
Russ?
Yeah.
Russ? Sure. Just Give Me a Reason. And Travis was like, honestly, I really, really love this. It is catchy and hopeful.
Yes. I mean, that song is beautiful.
So,
I think that's one of Pink's best songs, honestly.
Oh, I think it's my favorite Pink song.
Oh, wow.
I think it's like a little something different for her. And I just like listening to it again and making this playlist. I was like, God, pop stars used to really sing, didn't they?
Remember that? Remember singing on the radio? What a time.
Yeah, I know. Another song, which was huge, is Miss Lord's Royals.
Of course.
And it's a little minor. So Travis, as we can predict, says, not really for me. I can't really tell you why. So sorry about that. I'm sorry too.
Is it even minor? Like, I guess the verses are kind of minor. The chorus is very major in my head. It's just vocal stacking. It's lovely. It's amazing. It's sparse.
I feel like the chords feel a little minor.
In the chorus?
No?
I don't feel like that.
I don't know. It doesn't sound like one of the like super peppy major pop songs that were happening in like 2012, 2013.
Yes, it's not Teenage Dream, but still it's singable. Like it's an anthem. He doesn't feel like this is anthemic?
I don't know if I would call it super anthemic. Maybe I would actually. The lyrical content, maybe. I feel like it's more like it's a cold song to me. It's like cold and like sparse and like eerie.
Yes, but it's so singable that like a crowd of people could be singing it very easily all together. You know what I mean? Like it's just the singability of it is just off the charts.
I mean, it's a perfect song. So
yes, Travis.
Another song was a huge moment in this person's career. We Can't Stop by Miley Cyrus. And Travis says, as much as I don't want to, I like We Can't Stop. And I don't know what that resistance is about.
Yeah, we should look into that.
Travis, I mean, well, the thing is, I was like, Travis, when this song came out, I didn't want to like it either. I think it was because I was like, the music video to me was so like of the time coded.
True.
That I was kind of just like, ugh, it looks like just like a bunch of images like someone would post on Instagram and blah, 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 blah. But like looking back, I'm just like, God, this was iconic.
Oh, beyond. Yes. No, and obviously Miley was doing annoying stuff and like sticking her tongue out and grinding on Robin Thicke. But like this song, come on, unimpeachable. This Into Wrecking Ball was a moment for a reason.
I know. Yeah, so those are the Travis tracks.
Right.
And so I told Travis, I was like, we're going to start to get into songs that you have not really heard before because the songs from the late 2010s that I love were not hits. So.
I'm excited to hear what he thinks of all of those.
Exactly, yeah. So are we on to giving me moments?
Yes, I suppose we are. And if you don't mind, I'll go first because you could probably guess what I'll be discussing. But the long and short of it is, guys, yes. Like, there's so many ways in which Mariah Carey puts out new music that, of course, I'm going to like it. Of course, it's going to be great. But Here for It All just was, I feel like there was more depth and heart and like took us to different places with her musically. Like I still will never get over her discussing her mortality on that fucking title track. Like it's a mixture of Lead the Way and like Petals. Like it's just devastating, heartfelt, emotional, and a love letter to her kids after she's gone. Like she's basically like, this is a rehearsal. This is a test flight, but like this is what I want after I'm not here. I can't get over the brilliance of this woman, the fact that she is able to make albums this spectacular so far into her career. And there was definitely a moment in the past 7 years where I was like Matt Steele with Rihanna, and I was like, it might not be coming. There might not be anything. We might just be getting, butterfly lounges and the documentaries and, series based on her book. But the fact that she's gifted us with this incredible release, like this has made my childhood self so very happy. Like I am so proud to have picked her out of all the artists that were around in 1995 to follow for the rest of my days. And she has never let me down, not one time. I love her. I love this album. I love her discography. Mariah forever.
I just want to say, I have never doubted that Mariah Carey would put out another album after Caution. Okay.
I mean, Caution was such a big critical hit, and everybody loved it. But this was the longest break between albums for like by a lot. So I was nervous. Sure. I was just like, there is a world in which she just doesn't feel like doing this. I, of course, would never verbalize that. I would never hope for that. I never thought it, but I knew that was an option. I feel like when you're on album 16 and you're, been around for 35 years, it's always an option that that's the last album. But if this, and again, I hope it's not, I'm sure it's not, I'm sure there's more. But if this were the last album and that was the last song, it would be beautiful. It would be beautiful.
I don't want this will be the last album.
I don't think so either. But that song.
I am speaking this into existence, y'all.
And could you speak the Rihanna coming back into existence for me too, please? Since we're speaking things into existence.
I can't speak it because I don't believe it. Okay.
God.
I'm not going to sit here and lie on two gay mats.
You've done it before. It wouldn't be your first time. But yes, no, I could go on for days and eons discussing the brilliance of this record. I just implore you, if you haven't taken a listen, please give it a listen. There are only so few icons that are around these days that are still making music, and none that are making music of this caliber. I'm hoping the Madonna Confessions on a Dance Floor 2 or whatever that she's going to put out with Warner next year is going to be great as well. But I can think of no one else who was around in 1990 that makes music at this caliber, so like this far after they debuted. So I'm thankful, I'm grateful, I feel so warm and fuzzy inside. This is the week I've been waiting for 7 years, and it did not disappoint, not one bit.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. A big win for me, mostly. Matt Steele, what has been giving you moments, darling?
So besides the exciting Big Brother feeds, I also saw a little bit of cinema this week. It is not the Paul Thomas Anderson movie, but it is the new movie called The Long Walk, which is an adaptation of a Stephen King novel from, I believe, the 70s. A 1979 novel I see right here. It's directed by Francis Lawrence, and I didn't know anything about the book or the original source material or anything, but like I just loved the vibe of it all, because it just all felt so like nostalgic to me in terms of like movies that we don't really see much anymore, like very like mid-budget like coming of age movies that kind of like people of any age can really enjoy, even though it's I would say like more of the PG-13, because it gets pretty gruesome in parts, like there is like violence and stuff in it, but it's something you can see with your parents and teenage children, I would say, that is really kind of like scary to think about in like times like these. It takes place in a sort of like a dystopian, seems like future in like some American society. It seems like there was like some sort of civil war or war that happened in America that turned it into a totalitarian state and everything, that is run by this guy who's like they call him the Major, and it's played by Mark Hamill. And once a year, a representative from each of the I would assume still 50 states comes together to have this competition. And in this dystopian future, literally everyone is fucking poor. Like everyone is just dirt poor, except I assume like the hardcore government elites or something like that. And so once a year, they hold this competition where 50 boys come together and they just walk for hundreds of miles, and they can't stop walking. And it's to like encourage the people to like work harder, like basically like to encourage the citizens to like be productive or some crazy shit like that.
Jesus.
Because it's like broadcast all over the country and everything, just like watching these boys. And so what it is each boy is chosen and they start walking, and they have to walk a certain spoiler alert, obviously, a certain like miles per hour, like 3 miles per hour, I think 3.3 miles per hour or something like that. And if they go below that once, they get like a warning. If they go below that twice, they get another warning. If they get like 4 or 5 warnings or whatever, they're eliminated from the game in a bad way. Very Squid Games-ish, if you can sort of like read between those lines and everything. And it follows these boys on their journey, walking hundreds and hundreds of miles, nonstop with no rest, and they sort of like are eliminated one by one, and just like a really wonderful like ensemble of guys and everything. I will say, like, as I was, and it's very emotional, very evocative, very like moving, and it speaks a lot to like, you know, times in history and like times that like are not so, you know, historic like in the past. But I was watching it and I was just kind of like giggling through some parts of it, because I was just like, all these little straight boys, if they had a little gay boy in there, it would not be called The Long Walk. It'd be called The Short Little Stroll. Because if there's one person who can win this competition, is a little gay boy. Okay? Because if there's one thing we can do, if there's two things we can do on this planet, it's reference pop culture moments and walk. Okay? Like, if I was in this competition, those other little boys would be dust. All right? My heart goes out to them, but like, I would be the victor. I'm sorry. But yeah, anyway, the winner of this walking competition gets like all the riches they could possibly want. Like, they just get like a buttload of money. So like, these boys are essentially sacrificing themselves for the potential to have money for their family and everything.
And is the only way to be eliminated for you to be, you know, go under that 5 times or whatever, go under the 3.3 miles per hour? Or can you be like, oh, I quit and I can just go home now? No, if you like try to run off of the path, you're eliminated. If you stop, you're eliminated. So there's like various different ways that like boys are eliminated and everything. And yeah, it's a very intense watch, but very compelling, very emotional, very good performances. And so I definitely recommend it. All right. Well, I love that. I mean, it seemed a little scarier than something I could take. You know, I'm very sensitive to that.
It's not pleasant.
I was going to say, I'll probably just
there needs to be a little gay boy in it, because then it would be like a little fun, you know?
Make it a little more fun. That's why, hey, if you want something nice and gay, a nice Indian boy, I'll say it every week. That's the movie I'll watch instead of this again, because it made me feel warm and fuzzy inside.
Yeah, but does it show how good like of walkers we are?
The walking, I don't think, comes up as much. Maybe that's your next feature that you write, is something about gay men walking and how we can do it quickly.
I know. If gay men were in the long walk, like, this movie would last forever, because we would never give up. We would never stop. We would never go under 3 miles an hour. Our toes could be falling off, and we'd just be like, yeah, so anyway,
oh God, what a world. But
I know there is some like allusion to like some like homosexual feelings or whatever, but it's just it's like hinted at, and I was kind of just like, all right.
I know, it's like, let's do it.
Give me a wrist flipping, cartwheeling girly up there, okay?
I think that would probably
end this competition.
That would change the tone quite a bit, but you know, I'd watch it. I definitely would watch it. So yeah, Matt Steele, is there anything else you want to tell the people, or is it time to go? It's time to say goodbye.
It's time to say goodbye.
Oh, guys, thank you so much for listening and or watching the podcast. We'll be back soon with more 2 Gay Mats, the podcast.
Bye. We love you.
Bye.